Core values aren't just a nice idea. They're like staying in your lane. J. Cole said it best. Stay the F out my lane, avoid the paint. If you don't define your lane, life will run you over. Today we're talking about how I lock down my core values, because without them, you're just... If you ever wondered what it truly means to live by your core values, this episode is for you. We'll dive deep into how the Straw Hat Pirates from One Piece embody the power of sticking to core values no matter what obstacles come their way. Just like Luffy and his crew, my journey has been all about staying true to myself despite the odds. From my upbringing in Miami to my military career, defining my core values wasn't easy, but it was necessary. We'll break it down into how you can understand what core values are, how to identify your own, and how to live by them every single day. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Wierby, here at MikeWierby.com, your friendly neighborhood Air Force Master Sergeant turned personal development expert and anime junkie. Welcome to Zenryoku, where anime meets self-development. Reporting from Shreveport, Louisiana, support the channel by hitting the subscribe, like, and share to dive deep into the world where anime meets personal development. And hey, in the comments, let me know where you're watching this from. Speaking of personal growth, last week we tackled one thing I wish I could change about my emotional game. Yep, it was all about getting better, even when you got it together. We went into Samurai Shampoo and how these guys made me rethink my emotional intelligence. And let me just say, I could have used some wisdom back in the day, especially before my wrestling match, where I let my emotions get the best of me. Yeah, not my proudest moment. In this episode, we'll be tackling understand what core values are, how to identify your own core values, living by your core values every single day. Let's jump right in before I start talking like a wise sage out of Naruto. Except my training arc was a little messier and it involved fewer jutsus. Core values are the principles that guide your decisions and actions in life. They're like Luffy's unbreakable resolve to protect his crew in One Piece. Luffy just doesn't say his values is loyalty.
With imagination, I can be anything I want. A pirate.
He shows it through and through, even when it means fighting a warlord. In the same way, your core values should drive you, not just in big moments, but in small, everyday decisions. As Meek Mill said in Battle Tested, everything I wanted, I manifested. Your values are what help you manifest the best life, staying grounded and focused no matter what the world throws at you. Your core values are shaped by your experiences, like how Luffy's journey shaped his belief in freedom and friendship. My values forged in the fires of growing up in Miami during the crack epidemic, where I saw firsthand what happens when people don't stick to their values. I had an OG, what's up Ray, always look out for me, steering me away from drugs and crime, keeping me grounded even when life was wild. That's what values do. They keep you centered when the world tries to pull you apart. Core values are non-negotiable. They're not something you can pick up and choose based on convenience. Just like Luffy doesn't waver when it comes to protecting his nakama, you shouldn't compromise your values, no matter the situation. Life throws punches, but like Meek Mill said, I go through the and still act like ain't nothing wrong. Your values are what get you through those punches. Core values guide your decisions. Like Luffy's loyalty to his crew, your values are shaped by your life experiences. They're non-negotiable and should never be compromised. Understanding core values isn't just the beginning. Now let's talk about how to figure out what your core values are. And no, it's not as easy as picking from a list. Trust me.
No! God, please, no! No!
To identify your core values, you have to reflect on what truly matters to you. It's like Zoro's unwavering dedication to become the world's greatest swordsman. You gotta dig deep and ask yourself, what principles are you willing to fight for, even when the world says otherwise? For me, growing up in a community that constantly tested me made me realize that loyalty, perseverance, and self-respect were non-negotiable. Life's short, but my money's long. Like Meek said, except here, your money is your values, and it's what keeps you rich in character. You also need to look at moments when your values were tested, much like when Luffy had to decide whether to protect his crew or follow the rules of the Marines. You face moments where your values clash with what is easy and socially acceptable. For me, it's when I had to make tough choices during my military career. There were moments I had to stand my ground, even when it meant going against the grain, especially when I was at Mylot Air Force Base. A key part of identifying your values is recognizing what makes you feel fulfilled and whole. Think of it when Luffy found his ultimate goal, becoming the Pirate King. He knew what his purpose was, and everything he does aligns with that. For me, it was realizing that helping others grow and standing by those I care about will always be more important than chasing material success. Everything I wanted, I manifested. As Meek Mill said, your values are what help you manifest your best life. Reflect deeply on what principles matter to you. Look at the moments when your values were tested. Recognize what brings you fulfillment and purpose. Now that you identify your values, how do you live by them every day without slipping up? Let's dive into that, because we all know life loves to test us, like the anime training montage. Living by your values is a daily choice. Just like Luffy's unwavering determination to never give up on his dreams. Every day, you gotta wake up and decide that you're gonna stick to your values, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Like I tell myself, if I stay down till I came up, hold your chain up, every day you build a legacy based on those values. Consistency is key. Just like Luffy didn't abandon his friends, you can't abandon your values when things get tough. For me, I had to live this out in my military career. There were days I didn't want to stick to my principles, but giving up on them meant giving up on myself. As J. Cole said, stay hot, doing numbers like K-pop. Consistency in values is what leads to success. Your values should be evident in your interactions with others.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Whether it's in your family, workplace, or even with strangers, people should know what you stand for. Like Luffy's reputation as someone who will fight for his friends no matter what, your values should precede you. For me, it's about loyalty, respect, and lifting others up. Living by your values is a daily decision. Consistency is crucial for success. Your values should be visible in how you treat others. So there you have it. Living by your core values is an everyday grind, but it's one worth doing. After all, what's life without sticking to what matters most? Core values are like your personal compass, guiding your decisions and actions. Identifying your core values requires reflection and understanding what fulfills you. Living by your values every day takes consistency and commitment. This week, take a moment to reflect on a time where your values were tested. How did you respond? And what would you do differently next time to stay true to what matters most? What's one anime character whose core values inspired you? Let me know in the comments. And if you don't say Luffy, I'll be mildly disappointed, but still proud of you. Thanks for tuning in, Zenryoku family. Remember, keep defining your values, living by them, and paying it forward. Until next time, peace.